Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn, and I'm glad you're here. I was not planning on this particular video today. If you're new here, usually I knit, sew, crochet. I do all the fun crafts. I do some obscure crafts too, but I used to work at Joann until they closed us down. Now, I thought that was going to be the end of me talking about things in our craft world disappearing. Buckle up, because I got another one. This is not going to be the new path for my channel or anything like that. It's just, how can I say it? I've told y'all from the beginning that if I come across something that we needed to know, I was going to share it. And many of you responded that you appreciated that, you know, it would be something that you were interested in. So here I am. Grab you something to drink, grab your project, and let's talk about this. Now, whoa, that is still very hot. Yes, it is in June. Yes, I live in the South. Yes, I'm drinking tea. For a couple reasons. Because I think, now my glasses just aren't sitting right. And if I start playing with them, y'all forgive me. It is 7 a.m. in the morning. And I didn't sleep well last night because I got an email from Tina last night about an inkling of this that she saw. And I said, wow, okay, let me look into this. Thank you. So I did some research last night. I didn't go to bed till almost 11, which is unheard of, mainly for me. But I couldn't find a whole lot, but I slept on it, and I kept having these vivid dreams about it, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get up, and I'm going to research this even more, because I knew there was something there. If it had gotten any traction, anything, there was one article from, I think it was Creative Alliance or Crafty Alliance or something like that. If I butchered the name, I'm sorry. I have since closed that page down. But we're talking about IG Design Group. And that is based in the UK, in Europe. And the DGA, which is the Design Group America version, has been sold off. Now, what does that mean for us? Alright, I'll get there. But the DGA is the American branch. It's Design Group Americas. It's the American branch, the US branch of this IG Design Group, right? Well, everything I was reading was a basic regurgitation of that first article. I only found 3 articles, and then I found something on Reddit. And I was like, there has to be something. And being 7 p.m. on a Friday night, I wasn't going to get answers from these companies. So I kept digging, and I kept digging, and I found a little nugget here on DGA that says, no, I'm sorry. It's the Design Group. It is their, the IG Design Group, okay? And it has, hold on, let me click it open here. It says Design Group. The title of this page says Disposal of DG America. Read announcement. So I read it. And it is a legal document. And it was dated May 30th of 2025. So all of this just now started going down. And it turns out that yet another corporation has sold off to a liquidator. And more Americans are going to be laid off. All right. They got the news yesterday, which was Friday, because today is Saturday the 7th. So, what is DGA? All right. I'm going to insert a little video clip of that I took off my laptop screen this morning. I'm learning some things, so maybe I can get to the point to where I can do a screen roll for y'all directly from my laptop. I'm not there yet. I'm a crafter, y'all. Yes, I used to know a computer inside and out, and I still do somewhat, but I've lost touch with that side of myself. I need to find it again. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and insert that here so you can see what brands affect the DGA, what brands they cover. Okay, so you see, it covers, I mean, we're talking McCall's, Simplicity, Vogue, Butterick, Quick Sew, New Look, Offray, and Wrights, La Mode, La Pete, Signature Warm, or Spectrum Warm, Spectrum Cool, Slimline, Flare. All of these, Boy, Paintworks, Pencil Work, all of these are things that Joanne carried. All right. It even has Simplicity Vintage. So, I'm thinking, okay, there's got to be something there. Where there's smoke, there's usually fire, right? So, I went looking this morning and I found this document. And it says, disposal of DG America. Alright. Now let me see if I can zoom in, because y'all know I am blind as a bat. Okay, I can zoom in. I'm going to zoom in a couple times to where I don't have to squinch to read this. Alright. It says, IG Design Group announces the share purchase agreement on May 30th, 2025. It has agreed to sell its entire interest in DGA to HUK 168 Limited, which will be known as Hill Cove Capital Group, HILCO. And I'm thinking, okay, so they're disposing of this to a liquidator. All right, and this is where it gets a little wonky. It says, in consideration of the disposal, the group will receive a nominal upfront cash payment of $1 US. $1. They sold it for $1. And then 75% of any proceeds from the post-disposal sale. So basically, you know how when Great American sold our stuff? See, that's the thing. All of these companies are like, Joann's was a U.S. company. But Great American, which is a UK-based company, bought us. And now here, a UK-based company bought more American stuff, and now they're selling it to another UK company called Hilco, to get rid of us. Yeah. Alright, but anyway. So after they sell it, after they get rid of us, they get rid of DGA to Hilco Group for that whole $1. They decided that they were going to take 75% of the post-sale earnings. So Hilco will get 25% and they will forward the 75% to IG Design Group, which kind of makes me think Hilco might be a subsidiary of IG. I don't know. This is all very new. This is all unfolding, so we'll have to see what comes later, because it's not going to be quick. Now, it does say the reasoning is that over the last few years, DGA has been trading in an exceptionally challenging retail environment with softening demand. And they were impacted. DGA, which is Design Group Americas, that branch was hit significantly when Joann's started going downhill. And then when we got auctioned off and sold to Great American and thereby closed, they hit us again. I mean, it hit these people again. So, and then, you know, and it even talks about it. It says, this was compounded at the end of 2024 and beginning of 2025 by bankruptcy amongst DGA's retail customer base, particularly its fourth largest customer. I'm pretty sure they're meaning Joann. I don't see how it's the fourth largest customer, but, you know, hey. It says, in 2025, DGA faces further significant pressure and uncertainty from the new trade tariffs imposed by the U.S., which has severely raised the cost of doing business in the U.S. and further reduced customer ordering. All right. I personally have thoughts about the whole tariff situation. And it's a very polarizing thing, like religion and politics. So I'm just going to keep that thought to myself. Because if I think it's good, there will be plenty of y'all that think it's bad and give me heck about it. Or if I think it's bad, there are plenty of y'all out there that will think it's good and give me heck about it. So I will keep that opinion to myself for now. But I do have definite opinions. I definitely have opinions. But anyway, I see a couple different paths these tariffs can take. And while I'm hoping that they go the way I want them to, or the way that they're intended, we'll see. So anyway, but everybody's blaming all these price hikes on the tariffs. Even the local car dealerships. And the thing is, they've not even been imposed yet. So how are they raising prices when the tariffs haven't even enacted yet? And basically all of this boils down to greed. Corporate greed. As far as all of these businesses feeling the pressure of the impact of softening demand market. Joann's was not immune to it. And I do have a feeling that all of the crafting community will feel it. Other businesses like Michael's and Hobby Lobby, I think they're going to feel it too. Because when you think about it, we're getting more savvy as shoppers and crafters. DIYers have always been savvy in that regard. We like to create, so we're not going to pay full price for an already made item when we can make it ourselves. Whether that's building something, making something with string, sewing something, it doesn't matter. We are going to source the best possible deal we can to make this. Well, I do anyway. So I say we, but you know, I think I'm not alone. Okay, I'm pretty sure most of you are the same way. So that's where corporate greed is kicking them in the butt. Because just because crafting, all kind of crafts became popular during COVID doesn't mean, and yes, that's where they got greedy because, sorry, I just put my hummingbird feeder out my window here. So I thought I saw a bird, but it was a bee. Okay, I'll feed the bees too. But anyway, yes, I know, that was a squirrel moment. But anyway, they jacked the prices up of things up on us during COVID, all right? Claiming all kind of different reasons. Transportation, short staff for manufacturing, and all these other things. Which, if any of y'all worked through COVID, you know that there was not a shortage of work. Most, not around in my area anyway. I worked in the automotive industry. It was a definite, I can't even remember the term at this moment. Essential. I wasn't medical. I wasn't first responders, but you needed your ride. So the automotive industry was essential workers. So anyway, all that being said, they got gluttonous, you know. They got to get these higher prices for a mass amount of people because they were sequestered in their homes. All right. Well, fast forward a couple of years and people are out and about. They're going back to work. Some of them, Lord knows, there's plenty of them out there that didn't go back to work when it was safe to do so because the government was paying them to stay home. I didn't get that. I still made my little, never mind. Anyway, so there were plenty of people that were saying, oh, wait, okay, now we can go buy things and we can get better deals, but there wasn't any real deals to be had. And then once the government assistance stopped, they realized, oh, well, we can't afford to pay these COVID prices, so let's go find better deals. Now, with Simplicity and McCall's and all them, if any of you sew or have sewn for the last 20, 25 years, even 30 years, you have seen them get ridiculous on these pattern prices. Okay? Yes, I know Joanne would have $1.99 sales every now and again, but these daggone things were going for $14, $15, sometimes $20, $21 for Vogue patterns. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. At the time, in this day and age, when we have YouTube and we have all these websites that can basically teach us how to go to self-draft and to go without a pattern, you're going to try to get this money out of people? No. No, we're smarter than that. No, we're not going to do that. So, in my opinion, for what it's worth, they got a little too greedy for a little too long. They could capitalize on the COVID situation and say, okay, these people want something to do while they have to be at home. All right, fine. They were getting paid to be at home. You know? It was more beneficial. I could have stayed at home during COVID and made 3 times as much as I did working. Yeah. But I didn't. Because I fully believed that I was needed. Anyway, delusions of grandeur, I guess, or self-importance, or whatever my misconception was at the time. So, now these companies, these corporations, are feeling the brunt of us getting more cost conscious. We've always been cost conscious, but from, I would say, 2.5 years. From when we got the lockdown to about 2023, they got their little plush market, and it was full, and it was a lot of demand, and they were getting the prices that they wanted. But after that, they were like, "Oh, wait, our sales are declining. Why is that?" Dude, you got greedy for too long. So, anyway, all right. So those are the two reasons that they're citing: the soft demand, the soft market, and all of their retailers closing and bankruptcies and whatnot. And now they're saying the tariffs. I would say the tariffs may play a part in it later in the year. I don't think that's part now. I think they're willing to just do this right here. They're willing to just cut ties. Completely cut ties, yes. I'm working on some stuff here, so I'll show y'all. I have some stuff here that I'm working on, and my scissors are ever present. Usually they're in my sewing basket, but I was working on this last night, and I haven't started working on them this morning because I wanted to get research, blah, blah, blah. Get some research in and get y'all caught up on this. So, I will say that, listen to this verbiage here. It says, the disposal will enable the group to exit a structurally challenged and loss-making part of the business. The U.S. is a redheaded stepchild otherwise. Okay, I got you. Quickly mitigating the further financial and operational impact on the group, which we have been experiencing. The disposal is occurring ahead of DGA's seasonal peak capital period. Okay, so, otherwise, they're going to get rid of DGA right before wait a minute. Okay, let me back up. I think I misunderstood that. It says the disposal is occurring ahead of DGA's seasonal peak working capital period. As such, the board has sought to actively, decisively to protect the wider part of the group. Sorry if y'all just heard me slurp that. That is some good tea this morning. Moving forward, the group will continue its business in the UK, the continental Europe, and Australia as DG International. The inclusion of 2 months of DGA's trading and some limited transaction costs relating to the disposal are expected to adversely impact the financial performance of the group in the current financial year. So, okay. Alright, this is, I'm trying to find where I read this. So what, I'm trying, I hate this. I just saw it earlier. They're looking, okay, this is where. Financing agreements. Upon completion of the current transaction, the existing U.S. receivables-backed asset-based lending financing facility will be terminated. The group is in the process of securing a new 3-year financing agreement with its lenders, which is expected to conclude by the end of June. Now, that is saying, I thought, okay, when I first read it, I thought that they perceived this taking 3 years. But no. They're cutting ties with the U.S. financing, okay? And then they're now expected to sign another 3 years as part of the IG group. Okay, fine. So they're cutting the losses with DGA to where it doesn't impact them in the next 3 years. That's fine and dandy. But what does that mean? Does that mean that they're going to get rid of Simplicity and McCall's and all that, like they did Joann's, in a matter of months, or it's going to be years? So we'll see. It says a further announcement will be made in due course. Okay, fine. So the chair of IG Group, Design Group, says, we have worked tirelessly over a number of years to rebuild DG America into a more profitable and sustainable part of the group. However, numerous external factors have influenced progress, including category contraction and customer bankruptcies. Imagine who they're talking about. Compounding this, in light of the recent events in North America and the evolving tariff situation, it has become clear that the headwinds facing this division are unattainable. The board has acted decisively and at a pace to safeguard the wider group from both further financial exposure at a crucial time in the group's working capital cycle, and also the escalating risk of prolonged underperformance. By entering into a realization agreement with the buyer, Hilco, the group has removed downside risk while retaining optionality on any value that it may be realized. I would like to recognize the commitment and professionalism of the DG America's team, who have worked with dedication and passion in difficult circumstances over the recent years. Blah, 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 blah. That angers me. Only because that sounds like the same crap the UK-based Great American fed us. Oh, we appreciate y'all working so hard and blah, blah, blah. But we're going to take every little penny and run. That's basically what they're doing here. Alright, so. And that's what all he says. Oh, excuse me. As we look ahead, our focus is firmly driving DG International. Yeah, okay. So, basically just kicking the U.S. branch to the curb. Alright. So that's the legality and all that fun junk, right? So they have gotten rid of all of this, the DG America, that has all those brands that I scrolled down for y'all. Now, when I was calling them out, I didn't call out all of them. But you can go to DGAmericas.com and see all their brands. Alright? I will put that down in the description below, and let me write a note to myself so that I will remember that, because memory is not so swift. Alright, link DG America. So, there's one thing that I saw on here. Now, it's not only affecting us sewers, and I say us sewers. Y'all, I used to call us seamstresses. I didn't call us sewist, but now apparently that is the term this day and age. I don't know. But anyway, those of us who sew, it's not only affecting us, because there are so many in this brand list, and Boye, B-O-Y-E, was one of them. There's a lot in other things that I don't even know the names of. I mean, I don't know the brands, so I don't know. You saw it. You can pause it. You can go to dgamericas.com. But, so, how many times are we going to get smacked with things closing down? Because people are greedy and I understand looking out for your bottom line. We all have household bills. We all know how to look to make sure we survive, okay? We're all used to doing the same thing that these corporations are doing on a smaller scale. I get that. But we don't get greedy. We don't try to capitalize on... Actually, no, maybe we did. I did, because we all capitalized on Joanne's bankruptcy to get as much as we could at a better deal. So, it's just different ways of capitalizing on things. I kid y'all not. I didn't sleep with this mess because I'm like, my brain was turning. And it wasn't a bad thing. I didn't take this personal like I took Joanne. Alright? Because Joanne, I take it personal in the degree that I may have to get a lot better in self-drafting on my patterns. My sewing patterns. I used to only self-draft. And then, because that's the way we were taught in high school. You know, we're not talking about mainstream high school now. We're talking about home ec. Y'all know. You know what I'm talking about. And they taught us how to measure our bodies and how to make certain cuts for certain areas. And so, and there's a lot of YouTubers out there that can do that now. So, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I'm sorry. Alright, so, I'm not saying let's go on a pattern buying frenzy. They're still going to get their money. And the thing about it is the pattern printing, there's one pattern printer in the U.S. One big industrial machine that creates these tissue paper patterns. One. That blew my mind. And a lot of independent pattern makers send their patterns to this place, and I think it's part of DGA, but I'm not sure. I think they own a majority of it, of the place that has this printer. I don't know. That is something I didn't delve into because I need to. Or if you want to take it upon yourself to find out about the tissue paper pattern printing in the U.S., and you will find out what I mean. Because this is not going to be some long ongoing thing. Now, as things develop, I may come back and make another video. But when Tina sent me this last night, and I'm like, wow, really? Why are they hitting us crafters like this? Blow after blow after blow. So that's when I decided to do the research that I could, because I couldn't find a whole lot last night. Now, but it doesn't only affect those of us who sew. I saw a boy in here. And I know some of you collect buttons. And a lot of these are the brands of buttons that Joanne carried. Which there's plenty out there that come from other places other than Joanne or this DG America. But it also has that boy in there. And that boy is my kind of hook. Alright. That being said, everybody and their brother makes tapered hooks. So even if boy gets discontinued, there's plenty of other hooks. You can go on Amazon and search tapered style crochet hook and find a slew of alternatives. So that doesn't worry me. What worries me is the overall impact of all of these liquidations and closings and sales and stuff. What does that mean for most of us crafters? And I think what it means is we need to hunker down and we need to, as one of my commenters said, and I wish I could remember your name right now because I laughed out loud literally when I read your comment. And if you know who you are when I say this comment, so let me know. Say, yo, that was me. Because I had an overwhelming response, and I tried to respond to every comment on that last video. But it was, I played a game when Joanne went out of business. I played a game with let's stick it to the man. Meaning, she was going to get as much as she could from that liquidation for as cheap as she could. And I feel the same way. I wasn't one of the rude deal hunting vultures that came through our store. I was a deal hunting vulture. It didn't make it any better that I was an employee. I was bound and determined to get the best deal I could. Now, some of my coworkers got better deals because they were able to hold things back in the manager's office that, some of us were not allowed to. So, I didn't get as good a deal as I could, but I'm very happy with what I did get. So, you can do this, you can take this in two different minds. You can say, okay, well, I need something to do with my hands, y'all. So I'm going to, forgive me if you are new and this is your first time seeing me. I sew, I knit, I crochet, and currently I am working on these beautiful little butterflies for my my new craft room window, because I'm gonna make floating butterflies as a curtain. Now, actually, I'm gonna go with a beautiful pink center. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to talk to y'all, and y'all, yes, y'all, I am using size 10 crochet thread to make these butterflies. I tried doing it in 4-weight, but it didn't work. Okay, so going back to this. We are looking at these corporations saying, nope, it's no longer profitable. They're not, we can't sucker them out of all of their money anymore, so we're gonna close them down. Okay, fine. We will just pay attention, and we will go to that same mode, like my dear darling commenter, my viewer, and you know who you are, because I was like, oh, this one gets it, because I was the same way, so I can't even, nobody can fault you for that. And we can do that. We can watch this situation and go to Simplicity or McCall's or whatever online. Oh, hold on. Go in there. We can do that online and watch to see these sales and, just basically take advantage of the fact that they're trying to discontinue some of these patterns or all of these patterns. Now, we can stock up. I mean, I have probably, I want to say 20 or 30 patterns. No, not that many. Maybe 15 patterns that I bought while we were closing down. And the thing that I got mad about, and I told one of my viewers that commented that their local Joann's was destroying patterns. I was like, no way, they wouldn't do that. Well, I went to work, and I was talking to my manager, and I said, yeah, I said, I heard that they were basically destroying patterns. She says, we were. What? She said, yeah, that's the agreement we have with the pattern companies, that if they don't sell, they get destroyed. She said, but, we gave everybody who was working yesterday on a Sunday, she's like, we gave them the first pick of whatever they wanted to take before. I was like, why didn't you call me? Because I would have made a special trip over to Augusta to get said patterns. I don't know what I would have gotten, but, I would have found something to get. Yeah, sure would. Free is for me, right? So anyway, we'll have to see what they do in the coming months, and what their strategy is, this Hilco company, of getting rid of these patterns or getting rid of all of this. And it may be long and drawn out, kind of like Joann's was. Well, I say long and drawn out, and it wasn't. It was months versus years, but I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that they are going to make it pretty quick in the regards of, depends on that printer. If they own the printer, then they can make it for as long as they want. They can draw it out as long as they want. But if that printer is not theirs, if they only own a part of it, or they lease it, or whatever, see, all that could impact it too. I know this should be an informative video, and I have more questions than I have answers, but I think everybody in the sewing community will have these same questions. And I think it's just going to require us to be patient and time telling us what's going to happen. All right, so what can we do other than that? Yep, we can also start to learn to self-draft. Now, there are quite a few people that I watch that self-draft. Chelsea from She Sews Seams and Charlie from The Stitchery. Those are the two main people that I watch that sew and self-draft. I will tag them, I think, in the headline of this video, and put their links to their YouTube down below, so that if you do so and you're not familiar with self-drafting, that you might go over there and check them out if you don't already watch them, because, you know, usually we tend to watch a lot of the same people. So let's just see what we can do, because I have said this all along that I swore I felt something crawling on my head. It was probably just my hair. Anyway, I have said this all along throughout this whole situation with Joann's, that you are not going to put us down as far as makers. We're going to find a way to make, because makers are going to make, right? Sewists are going to sew. Seamstresses are going to sew. So I really think that throughout all this, no matter what they throw at us, no matter what situations or what companies they close down, I really think that we are going to come out of this on top. Because our decreased buying is forcing these companies to sit up and pay attention and say, oh crap. Alright? Now, this company is saying the reason why they're feeling the brunt of it is because most of their retailers are closing down. Yes, they are. But why? Because everybody at the top's getting greedy? Pretty much. Even with this group. I mean, they're literally cutting DGA off because it's underperforming. Okay? That's fine. I get it. It's money, you know, you're gonna do what you gotta do. Hang tight 1 second, let me count this. 3, 4, 5, 6. Shoot, I think I made too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, perfect. I made just the right amount. So anyway, I got sidetracked. I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, so only thing we have to do is we have to get smart and say, okay, if they're going to take this away from us, we can buy what we can buy now, but we can also look toward the future when this is no longer available. Because, I mean, most of these patterns that it lists on here is the pattern the only patterns that I know of in existence. So unless you count the independent pattern makers, which I don't know of right offhand. But I mean, it's McCall's, Simplicity, Vogue, Butterick, Quick Sew, New Look. And I saw Know Me on one of the top. I think Know Me is part of Simplicity. And Berta Style. So when you think about all this, you're kind of like, okay, whew. Y'all, I'm not kidding. It is getting hot in here. It is, wow, I've been talking almost an hour. It's going on 8 o'clock. But it's already hot. it could be the fact that I'm drinking tea. And I did get me an air conditioning for this little room yesterday. But that thing is loud. Loud. So I was like, oh, I'm going to be filming in the early hours of the morning. It's not going to affect me. Yeah. It might not on the normal course of things. But right now, with it being a tea morning, yeah. But I've noticed that when I make a video and I use my water, I tend to, my throat gets raw. I mean, yes, I know I talk a lot. Hello, it's me. I know I talk a lot. But I was like, you know what? I want some tea this morning. So I got the tea. And that's all fine and dandy. All right. So I hope that this helped some, maybe. Whew. Because, sorry y'all, it is really getting hot in here and I don't have my clips. But I hope this helps some in the regards that you can plan for this. Because this is early days. I mean, this all went down on May 30th and it's June 7th. Now, they did that article that I told you about. I can't remember if it was Crafty Alliance or Creative Alliance. I don't know. I can't even remember. And rather than sit there and try to work it out on my computer, their post or their article came out on June 5th. Imagine that. A lot of things happened on June 5th. I posted that video on June 5th. McCall's declared, they released the information that they bought all of Joann's intellectual properties, otherwise known as scraps and leftovers, that Great American left. 4 pennies. 4 pennies. Because you know what? They were in the running. And I said I was done with that thing. And I am. So I'm not even going there. But they could have bought Joann. And they could have kept Joann open. Yes, I know it would have been competition, but if you own the competition, how's that? I mean, that's kind of like all of these Simplicity, McCall's. They all got bought up by one company. And people can kept having the places that the patterns that they love to buy, even if it did belong to one parent company. McCall's could have done that with Joann's and left us open. But they didn't, because they're too cheap. So they let Great American outbid them. And then bought up the scraps. Am I feeling a little salty still? A little bit. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to finish my little butterflies. Because that really brings me joy. When I show you what these look like, you will understand. Because they are so blasted. I know I just barely showed y'all a second ago. But they're so blasted cute. And I'm doing different color combinations. Because I really think that is... wait, where's my... Where'd it go? I don't know. But you know what? I think this color's coming next. Ha ha ha. Because butterflies come in all colors of the rainbow, right? And it doesn't matter because I'm creating them so they can come in any color that I want them to. So, those of you who know me, you know what's coming. Those of you who don't, let's just say I gotta find that one. Yes, I'm using some old, I don't even know if Hobby Lobby still carries this. This is crochet thread from Hobby Lobby that I bought. It was $2.99, but I want to say probably about 5 years ago? 6 years ago? This is what I use for weaving on my inkle loom. And now I'm crocheting with it. Usually I don't crochet with crochet thread because it's just too blasted tiny. And I have a little 3mm hook that I'm using. It is a boy style, meaning it is a tapered hook. But I got this thing for pennies on Temu or Amazon. I can't remember. I buy hooks everywhere. I'm not a brand snob on my hooks. But anyway, like I said, those of you who know my channel knows what's coming next. And that is, I hope, even though all of this news, all this negative Nancy news is coming at y'all, I do hope that you find some joy today. I hope that you find something that just makes your face light up, your heart sing, and it lifts some kind of and dreariness out of your day. Because we have so much of that going on in this world. We need to find as much joy as we can and just hold on to it and say to anything else. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. I'm going to. And I do have, my poor video has gotten kicked twice. I do have a video of my space. And it's coming. But it got kicked back twice. Once before I ever had my son edit it, and now it's going to get bumped back again because I wanted to get this out. But it's coming. And then I'm going to be showing y'all these butterflies. Because, you know, rainbows, butterflies, anything that's beautiful and can bring me joy, I'm for it. Anyway, y'all have a great one. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.